What is your name?
My name is Leon Marion.
Okay. What do you do for the Friends of Social Health?
I am the current president of the Friends of South Shore Health Board.
How long have you been with this group?
I have been since 2004, so over 2 decades, and it's been a great experience.
Yeah. Now, it has been a great experience for you. You've been with the Friends of Social Health since 2004.
Yes.
What brought you into the Friends of
Sure,
Social Health?
great question, because normally that's a great question. So I was introduced by my neighbor whose father was on the board, and she said, "Hey, we're starting a new group called Links, Leaders Involving a New Kind of Support." And it's similar to what you'd consider a farm league for the big boy board.
Mm.
So it brought in people where we could get a taste of how to, work on a board, be part of a board, and then maybe move up the chain.
Yeah. And that got you kind of your foot through the door, and you've been there since.
It did.
Okay. So, what's kind of a story that you've had here serving on the board or being a member? What's a story here that really sticks out for
It's more that I think, which was so surprising to me, that we would have a direct impact on the community. So when we raise money, we would be able to support things like cancer care, or we were focused on pediatrics at the time. So we had something simple as a fish bowls to book drives, libraries, and then as severe as a giraffe bed for preemie babies. So that impact that we were able to bring directly into the healthcare system was just beyond meaningful.
you? And I take it you have children.
3 children.
There you go.
And we visited the ER quite a bit. So I want to make sure in my own backyard we had a good community hospital.
Yeah. Likewise, I mean, same for me in terms of having children and knowing that the money goes back to the community. It really is special. It is grassroots, and I actually really enjoy knowing that every dollar that we raise through the Friends of Social Health, 100 pennies will go to the community.
Right. A couple of things on that. So we're probably consistently the top 5 donors to.
We're going to talk more about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're the top 5 donors for
Top
sure.
5 donors,
Yeah.
which is something to tip our hats off. But it goes beyond the hospital walls. I think what we do, we're a grassroots group that does support internal workings of the hospital. However, we do things to keep people out of the hospital. Great education, wellness programs, trips, social environment, which is really important as people of all ages and all stages, but especially for older adults, where they can come together as a community and be, active in local great things.
For sure. And what I hear from the feedback is that folks just have a great time on these trips. They have some great food. They get to see things that they wouldn't like ever see.
Right.
And then they make friends on these trips.
They make friends, but it's becoming like a groupie group, because once something gets alerted, people jump on because
Just be careful what you say.
there's a limited amount of space on the bus. So
it is very limited. The seats do sell very quickly. And we're also talking about getting another bus
right.
to fill because it's been so popular. Now, what keeps you coming back?
I think, again, just going back to the direct impact that we can make. And also some lifelong friends. I've been friends with people like yourself and other members of our teams for 20 years.
Yeah, we just had lunch last week.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible.
It's incredible. And the people who work in the foundation, which is the group that really does the big boy fundraising, it's a great group of people.
Is there a story that you have that sticks out in terms of direct impact to the community?
Actually, yes. During COVID, I was a co-founder of a group called Frontline Foods South Shore, and we would raise money from generous people in the community, or even if it was $10 to $100 to $1,000, people would donate money. We would buy food from local restaurants at full price, no discount, and then we would deliver the food to the hospital and support the people from the all levels, from the janitors to the surgeons.
Wow. I mean, that's Meals on Wheels for the hospital.
That's right.
At a time where it was so needed because folks were stuck there.
They were stuck there. They couldn't even go out themselves. They were exhausted. It was, they don't like to be called heroes, but we were supporting our heroes. They really were the heroes at the time.
That's wonderful. As the Friends of Social Health grows, both in membership as well as the number of funds that we're able to raise. What kind of impact do you envision we are able to make for the community?
Well, let's just hit the growth of Friends. We would love everyone to become a Friends member, and the investment is very minimal. I think it's $40, right?
Yeah, it's a small amount
Yeah.
for the entire year.
For the entire year, you get a newsletter, you get all the updates on the schedule as far as the events that we're having, and it really gets you a little bit more involved with that. This is where you're gonna have to edit, Jimmy.
No, it's perfect. I mean, this is just a conversation.
Yeah.
This is so authentic. This is part of the group. We're here to help. Leon and I are not professionals. We don't do this for a living. We don't do videos. We don't do social media for a living. What we do for a living is we help the community.
Right.
That's what we do. That's what gets us passionate. Like what Leon has said is that there's a direct impact that we can make in this community by becoming a friend of social health. And that can mean many different things. As you know, the group does so many different things for the community, from scholarships to trips to education, to what other needs for pediatrics and emergency, the home care. I mean, the needs are tremendous.
Right.
And we get to actually be a part of that.
It is, and it's exciting. And as I get older and my children are, more and more out of the house, people ask, so what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? One of my biggest hobbies is helping people. And that might sound a little corny, but it's the truth. Being involved with the South Shore Hospital health system is just an absolutely fulfilling. I get more out of it the more than I give to it. It's an amazing thing. And I would invite anybody who has time, talent, or treasure and wants to get involved. We'd love to have you part of our group.
That's great. And as Leon had shared, that it's more than just the funds. It's the time, it's the talent, and we get to have fun. We get to have a lot of fun with the events and the fundraising efforts, both at the event and then outside of the events. We have a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah. So, what would you say to somebody who's interested in becoming a member of the Friends of South Shore Health? What would you say directly to them?
It's good for two reasons. It's good for yourself personally to be able to understand what's going on with your community hospital and the activities that are going on that you might want to take part in that have nothing to do with if you have a broken arm or something like that or worse, because you get to understand what we're doing in your community. It also helps because you're getting to be a donor to the hospital in a small way. It's a start and that helps us to fund some of the programs that we're able to help the hospital with. And again, it all goes right back into what we do is we invest. Everything goes right back into supporting the hospital.
Now, there you have it, Leon, our president, Friends of South Shore Health, and what we're doing here is just really making a direct impact to our community. It's in our backyard, and we get to do it right through the Friends of South Shore Health.
So, folks, think about this. As a South Shore resident, you don't have to, people, it's not just the convenience sake of being able to come into Weymouth and not drive all the way into Boston to beat the traffic, to beat the rush and everything else. You have top-notch care right in your backyard. It's a true one-stop shop. So I always told my friends when I was younger and bringing when everyone was busy with their kids, come to this event because you can contribute to supporting something. When you call 911, you want them to take you to the best place possible. And South Shore Health is the best place possible.
There you have it. Thank you, Leon. We'll do cut, and now let's just have a conversation.
Do we need to do a couple? You think you can make me look good?
You'll look great regardless. So,
Jim, you're gonna make me sound good. Come on.
This is social media. This is not miracles, man. We can't perform miracles.
Right.
So, I wanted to have just a real conversation about what we do as the Friends, right? So, how much money did we raise last
year? Are we being recorded?
I didn't hit stop yet, so we're being recorded. Yes.
You did, didn't you? You hit stop when you did that.
No. It doesn't know that. It doesn't.
Ah.
That's what it is. No, it's still going.
I don't know how much money we raised. Do you?
$283,000 we
Oh, the
raised.
check that we gave?
Yeah, that was just last year.
Yeah, but I think we raised more than that. I think that was
I'm
just
sure we did, but
yeah, yeah.
I think there's expenses that comes into
Right,
events and
right.
all that, and trips and membership, and there's even the mailings you get from the Focus, which you get as a member.
Hold on, hold on. I thought we were off camera here. What are we doing now? What's the question you're asking me?
The question is how much money did we raise? What are we doing with that money? Who is the Friends of Social Health? And what do we do?
Okay, so
I mean, it's a lot of questions,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
the idea is that the audience got your origin story. They know how you came about being a member, what's important to you. But now I want to learn more about what's our mission, what's our vision, what do we
Yes.
do here?
But just so sticking with the money part, we at our personal friends year-end meeting, we present the hospital with a check,
Mhm.
and we did just under $300,000 this year, which was a great feat.
That makes us the fifth largest donor
Yeah,
for social health.
we're in the top 5 consecutively every year to contribute to the healthcare system.
Now, the impact goes deeper than that. It's not just dollars and cents.
Right.
I mean, it is the community that we're
It
building.
is.
It is the friends that we're building.
It is.
It's we call it friend raising, not fundraising.
That's right.
And it's not just the donations. We're looking for time. We're looking for talent. We're looking for treasures. And sometimes your presence could be the treasure. Your presence to an event, to a trip, to a fundraising event. We have some signature ones, right?
Everyone has value. You're right. To your point, though, everyone has value. What you can bring, whether it is something special, something unique, whether it's a ability to cut a check or just the fact that you're involved and you can help spread the good word of what we do, because there's so much that we do that doesn't get out to the community, and that's actually part of the goal of us. To get that. What is the value of the friends?
Mm, mm.
To demonstrate exactly what we do.
Now, some of you may be thinking, yeah, what's the value of being a member? Well, we have nice discounts. We have a vendor list of all the local businesses that are on the discount vendor list.
That's right.
Yeah. So whether you shop at a local store, Curtis Liquors has been on it for years.
Years, yeah. Sullivan Tire.
Sullivan Tires. I mean, these are things you're gonna need anyways, and you shop there anyways. And being a member of the Friends will allow you to tap into these discounts.
And this is a great plug for us to say, if you are a vendor out there or have a business that you'd like to help support and could provide a discount, it'll also help you to get more people in there, but you're doing a great service. Give it back to the community. So please contact the Friends to find out how we can help support your business and become part of our vendor list.
We are not gonna edit that out. We're gonna keep that right in. But the other thing as a business is that we would actually go to your business. We'll do interviews like this so you can actually showcase your business through our platforms as a supporter of Friends, the Friends of Social Health.
Right.
Not only that, you will be on the vendors list, and if you decide, you're most welcome to make a donation, support, and a fundraising event, and then we put all of your information on the newsletters,
Right.
the Focus that goes out to our members. It goes onto the intranet for the hospital
Employees, which
employees,
are thousands of employees.
thousands of employees. So you get that visibility, you get that credibility, and you become that link in the community. You become that business where you bridge what healthcare is for our local community and support. You become the bridge. So if you want to be a business that supports the Friends of Social Health, talk to Leon and I. We'll give you all the details, and we'll sit down with you. We'll do an interview just like this.
And folks, volunteerism has taken a downturn, right? But I can promise you that if you do get involved, whatever capacity you're comfortable with, you're going to get more out of it than you give to it. It's just an absolute wonderful thing being able to help people, and it's sometimes not a direct impact, right? You're not going to be the one who's doing. We're not doctors or nurses or things of that sort, but you're going to be able to provide the resources that makes their life easier, which is going to make their patients' lives easier.
For sure. And to Leon's point, every little bit of help counts. So whether you come here to the Friends and you're helping us mail, envelopes and the Focus out to members, that's huge help. Or you can volunteer for an event, a fundraising event. We have some friends that do that every year. My friend Dee Dee, who goes and sells raffle tickets for the raffle prizes. I mean, it is phenomenal what you could do to make an impact in this local community. And it could be as simple as helping us with some mailings, or maybe becoming our social media board member.
That's right. We're looking for a few social media marketing gurus. So if you're full of energy and ready to give it a whirl, we'd love to have you.
If you don't fumble in your words like we do, and you're able to hit record,
Or you're a good editor.
you're a great editor. We're looking for you.
That's right.
We want you on our team. We want you to be a part of the Friends of Social Health. We want you to be able to make a direct impact to the community. And some of the things that sticks out for me, Leon, I know that years ago I started through the croquet event. That was our annual signature event, and we got together, and every dollar that we raised went to the kids, the NICU and the pediatrics and the maternity ward that we have at Social Health. And it was so cool because my kids were born there, and it goes back there.
Right.
And how cool is that?
How cool is that? And then, just that brought up a good point. The croquet event, when I got involved back in 2004, I just moved back to the South Shore from California. And I took part in an amazing croquet event. And when we were roundtabling at our Links meeting, I said, hey, let's try this croquet thing. And it turned into a pretty popular event.
But that's a phenomenal event.
But the point is, everyone's going to bring a little bit of something different. And we need something different to keep it moving and shaking and growing.
And when we say growth, it could be really your time and your talent. And that's what we're asking for. We're asking for someone who's a part of this community or want to be more involved with this local South Shore community. And we're asking for you to not money, time and talent is what we're asking.
Well, if you have some extra treasure, we'll take that too. All right, we'll definitely throw in some.
Yeah. And again, the donations all go to the hospital, goes to programs. I think for me and dear to my heart is the pediatrics.
Yes.
And my kids are young. We spent a lot of time at the hospital. And it just knowing that they were born there. I'm very loyal to the hospital, but also the local impact that we made. 2 years ago we did a fundraising event. It was the cornhole event. My friend at the time, who was there to support the event, Ashley, if you're listening, we're talking about you, and Jake, you guys were there, and you were expecting. What you didn't know was Ashley actually, her son was born early, and the beds that we got, the phototherapy beds that we got that specific event was actually used by our own son.
That's fantastic.
How beautiful is that?
It's full circle.
It's full circle. And we love stories like that. We love to be able to see where the money goes to and what you do at the Friends of South Shore Health, whether it's building a lab for the nurses that we did here for home care, or putting them on the backpacks that allow them to stop falling on ice,
Right.
to stop falling because they have 3 different bags of dirty linens, clean linens, equipment, and being able to provide proper equipment for our staff and our team and our friends here in this community has, for me, been the biggest source of joy. It makes me happy knowing
Right.
that, wow, this is what we do. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I mean, I never would have imagined coming to one croquet event 15 years ago would turn into this.
So I'm responsible for the greatness of Jimmy being part of our great, unbelievable.
I think so.
But it's the direct, again, just not to beat this to death. It's the direct impact that you can have.
We can beat this to death. It's perfectly fine. It's you and me having an honest conversation with the folks who want to get involved on the fence, and we can beat this until you actually sign up.
That's right.
Yeah. So go right ahead.
So I guess any questions, reach out to, you can reach out to the Friends group directly. If you want to speak to Jimmy or myself, we'd love to have a cup of coffee with you and just get to know you better. You can get to know us better and see if it's a fit. If it is, great. If it's not, we shake hands as friends and move on.
We have 3 signature events. The one that had that's coming up for May 2nd.
Yeah.
We have. I'm gonna take pictures of this so you'll see it. But we have a walk run 5K at Wampatuck Park.
Wampatuck and Hingham.
Yeah, yeah, and so you can join us for that. That's coming up on May 2nd. We have a Kicking Up Country.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! And
This is
so much
a
fun.
blast.
Yeah.
I promise you, if you don't like it, I'll pay for your ticket.
No,
That's how positive I
You
am.
don't have to country dance. You don't have to country
I'm
music.
not a
You don't have
country
to
dancer.
food, but if you put on some cowboy boots, you're having fun.
You put on a hat and a shirt, you're
Yeah,
gonna love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
June
gonna be
7th.
June 6th. Yeah, June 6th, Saturday,
Okay.
June 6th, and that's gonna be at the Players Sports Bar and Grill
In Rockland.
Rockland. So come join us for that.
June
And
6th.
then we do have a cornhole event as well.
I
And
can't
so,
wait to
yeah,
do that one.
it's a blast. It's going to be at the Wolves Den, and this year it's typically different places.
Hanover, right?
Yeah. So we're going to have a blast with that. Again, all the money goes back to the community. So basically, if you join us for having a lot of fun, and you contribute to these fundraising events, you basically put money from you take money out from your right pocket, you put it back in your left pocket. It goes right back to your community, and we get to make a direct impact together.